How many times have you shown up for people who never return the favor? How many birthdays have you remembered for people who forget yours? How many crises have you managed for people who disappear the moment you need help? Be honest. How many times have you been the one holding everybody down, while nobody even thinks to ask if you're okay? If that hits, then I want you to listen closely. Because today, we're not just venting. We're not just calling it out. We're creating a shift. This is the moment you stop shrinking, stop explaining, and stop being available to people who don't deserve the version of you they've been taking for granted. Let's call it like it is. You've made it your job to show up for everybody. You're the one they call when they need to vent, when they're spiraling again, when they need a ride, a loan, a shoulder, a lifeline. You're the one who listens with love, who gives without hesitation, who drops everything even when you're running on empty. You've been the answer, the comfort, the support system, the plan B, the emergency contact, the glue. But here's the question you don't want to ask. Who's showing up for you? Who checks in when you fall quiet? Who sees you when you're holding it all together with a smile and a shaking soul? Who reaches out when you're the one silently unraveling? If nobody comes to mind, that's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. A pattern that is draining your energy, stealing your peace, and convincing you that you're only valuable when you're needed. And you've carried that for so long, you don't even realize how deep it runs. The gut check. This ain't about being bitter. It's about being clear. Clear that you've been overfunctioning. Clear that you've been overgiving. Clear that you've been playing every role except your own. You've been teaching people that your love has no limits. But your body, your spirit, your peace, it's telling a different story. You're tired. And not just tired, emotionally bankrupt. You're tired of being clapped for when you're strong, but ghosted when you're human. Tired of being the go-to for people who never even look in your direction when it's your turn to fall apart. Tired of smiling through burnout, managing everyone else's breakdowns, and suffering in silence because nobody thinks you need anything. Why? Because you've made suffering look easy. Because you never said no. Because somewhere along the way, you were praised for being the strong one. But here's the truth. That version of you is exhausted, and she's not okay. The truth you've been avoiding. You've mastered survival. But survival isn't love. And survival isn't joy. Survival is self-sacrifice without return. You don't ask for help. You don't fall apart out loud. You carry everything in silence and then wonder why you feel invisible. And let me say this with love. Self-abandonment in the name of being there for others is not loyalty. It's self-erasure. You've been disappearing inside your own life. And what's worse, nobody notices because you taught them not to. You taught them that you're fine. You taught them that you don't need anything. You taught them that your pain takes a back seat to their comfort. And now, when you whisper, "I'm tired," they laugh it off like you're joking. But you're not joking. You're drowning. And no one's even looking for you. The pattern you're stuck in. You overgive because it gives you identity. It gives you a role. It gives you a place. You think, if I'm not needed, what am I? But sis, being needed is not the same as being loved. Let me say that again. Being needed is not the same as being loved. They don't love you. They love the access you give them. They love what you do for them. They love the version of you that shows up on command, never asks, never complains, never rests. And if you stopped showing up, half of them wouldn't even notice. Until they needed something. Sit with that. The shift you must make. This is where it changes. Not for them, for you. Because the truth is, people will take until you stop giving. They will expect you to keep performing until you unplug from the show. So here's what you do. You stop waiting for people to change. You change your response. You stop asking, well, why won't they be there for me? And start asking, why do I keep giving them the access to hurt me? Start with this. Who drains me even when I try to act like they don't? Who only calls me when they're in crisis? Who disappears the moment I stop acting like I'm fine? Who do I keep saving even though they never save me? Now breathe. That list, that's not your community. That's your assignment, and it's time to release it. You don't need more signs. You need a boundary. What it looks like in real life. This isn't about ghosting people or being cold. It's about preserving your peace. It looks like ignoring the 2 a.m. calls you always answered out of guilt. Sitting still instead of jumping to fix everybody's mess. Telling the truth when someone asks, "Are you okay?" And not shrinking when they get uncomfortable. Saying, "I can't be that for you anymore." And not explaining a damn thing. It looks like resting before you break. Crying without hiding it. Saying no with a straight face and a soft heart. Scheduling joy. Like literally putting rest on the calendar. Because rest is your right, not something you have to earn. It looks like coming home to yourself. The redirection. Let's be real. Choosing yourself after years of being the strong one is going to feel wrong at first. But it's not wrong. It's new. It's foreign, but it's not wrong. You're not abandoning them. You're returning to you. You're choosing healing over helping everybody heal but you. Softness over survival. Peace over proving. Reciprocity over routine. You're not here to be useful. You're here to be whole. The shift. This is your wake-up call. No more shrinking. No more saving everyone else while disappearing in the process. No more being used under the disguise of being strong. You are not here to be the emotional cleanup crew for people who wouldn't even answer the phone if you needed them to. You are here to be poured into, loved without labor, chosen without sacrifice, heard without screaming. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to stop, and you are allowed to say, "I'm not showing up for people who keep ghosting me when I need them." Not today, not anymore, not ever again. This time, you choose you. You're not here to be needed. You're here to be loved. By you first. Before we close today, I want you to sit with this moment. And I want to leave you with some questions. You don't need to answer them right now. But you do need to face them. So here's your homework. Write these down, come back to them, and don't lie to yourself when you answer. Question 1. Who do I keep showing up for, even though they've proven they won't show up for me? Question 2. What part of me still believes I have to earn love by being available? Question 3. What would it look like to choose myself, fully, unapologetically, this week? Take your time. This isn't a vibe. This is a shift. This is the beginning of your return to self. If this episode hit home for you, I want you to do one more thing. Leave a comment or message with one boundary you're setting this week. One no you're giving without guilt. One yes you're finally giving to you. Let's make healing a habit, not a hashtag. And remember, you don't owe anybody your exhaustion. You don't owe anybody your silence. You don't owe anybody your constant availability. You owe yourself peace. And remember, don't forget who you are when the world forgets to ask. Protect your peace. Choose your damn self. This ain't a vibe. This is a lifestyle. Protect your peace, reclaim your voice, and come back home to you every time. See you next time, beautiful. The truth you've been avoiding. The strong version of you isn't sustainable. She's exhausted. She's overbooked. She's angry, even though she doesn't show it. She's grieving herself, and nobody even notices because you don't fall apart. You don't ask for help. You carry it in silence. But silence is killing you. Let me say that louder for the woman who's still doubting. Self-abandonment in the name of being there for others is not loyalty. It's self-erasure. You're allowed to stop. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to say, no more showing up for people who don't show up for me. And you don't need permission. The pattern you're stuck in. You keep overgiving because it gives you identity. It makes you feel valuable. It makes you feel wanted. But being needed is not the same as being loved. Read that again. They don't love you. They rely on you. And if you stop showing up, half of them wouldn't even notice until they needed something. But that's it. The shift you must make. Here's what you do now. You stop waiting for people to change. You start changing how you participate. Start asking, who drains me? Who only calls me when they're in crisis? Who doesn't know how to support me unless I'm performing strength? And then you take that list and you create space, not from hate, from healing, what it looks like in real life. You stop answering calls when your soul is already tired. You stop showing up just in case they fall apart. You stop saying yes when your body is screaming, please say no. You start creating rituals that restore you. You start asking, what do I need today that nobody else can give me? And then you go get it for you. No apology, no guilt, no explanation. The redirection, what you're choosing now. You're choosing to speak up when you need help. Detach from people who make you feel small. Give your best energy to the person who actually deserves it, you. You're choosing healing over habit, peace over people-pleasing, rest over recognition. The closing shift. This is your wake-up call, because you're too important to keep pouring into people who don't pour back. Your time is sacred. Your energy is sacred. Your life is sacred. So no more shrinking. No more saving everyone else while neglecting the woman in the mirror. You are not here to be the backbone for people who wouldn't even answer the phone if you needed someone to lean on. Not anymore. This time, you choose you. No guilt, no delay, no second guessing. You're done being drained. You're not here to be used. You're here to be loved by you first.